I was reading when we went on our little camping trip. I was like, let me grab a book. Let me just look. And Rebecca got me a book at like an estate sale written in 1965. And it was a big, thick freaking book. And it's Tools. I think it was just Tools of the Mountain Man. And it was interesting because right up front, the writer was, I loved his style of writing too. It was really good. It just flowed. I was like, this is going to be boring as shit. um, but it starts off with Lewis and Clark. He says, because before them, there was no term. There was nobody found it in writing. Nobody saw the term mountain man being used or written.
Right.
There were trappers right out west. There were some trappers, but they blazed the trail, made the maps, and now you had this big influx of dudes looking for adventure, a la like Jeremiah Johnson,
Right.
wanting to go trap beaver and live in the mountains, and they dubbed it Mountain Men because, especially with several of the core Discovery crew, once they reached civilization, they said, fuck this, we're going back out into the mountains. We can't, they just couldn't deal with civilization.
Right.
Like that one guy, Coulter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming back, he saw a cow. They were almost back to St. Louis. And he saw a cow and like a barbed wire fence. And he went, nope. Got permission. And they just freaking launched him. He says, all right, pack your shit, man. You need us to pull over? He was like, nah. I'll just jump out the boat.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yep. But they gave him full rations. They gave him his 1903 M1903 duty military rifle, musket, plenty of ball, plenty of gunpowder, all this shit, and then told him, hey, you still have land rights and stuff if you decide otherwise. So he's one example of many, but they started coining that term mountain men because it became so popular in the early 1800s, directly after the Corps of Discovery expedition came back. They're like, well, fuck, if these guys can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the author was writing about even like politicians like Jefferson and stuff back then were perspicacious. And I went, perspicacious? That's fun. Mm-hmm. I've never used it before. I don't think I've ever read it. Yeah. Do you know this word? Mm-mm. Dude, it's basically knowing basic dude stuff is what it is. That, and when you read the definition is like one sentence, no descriptive necessary, but it's having knowledge of many things, something like that.
Right.
I went, damn, man. So BDS is about being perspicacious, just knowing things, having
basic,
a broad
perspicacious stuff.
Yep, basic. Perspicacious. That's a fun word, man. But I was like hammered when I looked that up.
Yeah.
Hammered.
Yeah, I mean,